what happens to your body if you drink Moringa tea every day. Have you heard of Moringa? Have you ever wondered why it's garnering global attention and how a simple cup of tea made from this remarkable plant could transform your health? Don't delay and watch the video now. In today's video, we delve into the scientific findings concerning Moringa oera to determine if the widespread claims about its benefits are supported by science or merely myths. Additionally, we'll present 7 scientifically proven benefits of Moringa tea, and believe me, one of the benefits on this list will surely surprise you. As a bonus, by watching until the end, you'll learn the correct way to prepare Moringa tea and the right dosage to consume it. Moringa can lower blood sugar levels. High blood sugar is a key indicator of diabetes and can lead to various health issues, including heart disease. Moringa leaves contain beneficial bioactive compounds like isothiocyanates that can improve insulin sensitivity and help regulate glucose absorption in the intestines, which can assist in managing blood sugar levels effectively. Drinking Moringa tea daily can help manage diabetes and prevent glucose spikes. A study in India showed that consuming 1.5 teaspoons of Moringa powder daily for 3 months reduced fasting blood sugar levels by 13.5% in women. Another study found that adding 50 grams of Moringa leaves to a meal reduced post-meal blood sugar rise by 21% in individuals with diabetes. Moringa can lower cholesterol. Moringa is known for lowering cholesterol, and drinking Moringa tea daily is a good choice for heart health. Studies have shown that Moringa can reduce fats and regulate cholesterol levels in the liver and kidneys. Moringa is also rich in antioxidants that fight free radicals and help prevent cholesterol oxidation. This is important for keeping arteries healthy, preventing plaque buildup, and supporting a stronger heart. Preventing rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis causes joint inflammation, resulting in pain, swelling, and stiffness. Drinking Moringa tea daily can help alleviate these symptoms due to its powerful anti-inflammatory properties from compounds like isothiocyanates, quercettinates, quercetin, and chlorogenic acid in Moringa. These substances help reduce inflammation and provide relief from symptoms of conditions like rheumatism and prostate inflammation. Moringa also provides essential nutrients like vitamin C and E that support connective tissues, which are crucial for strengthening joints and reducing oxidative stress to defend against the effects of rheumatoid arthritis. Helps prevent and treat cancer. Several studies highlight Moringa's anti-cancer properties, showing its potential for preventing and treating cancer. Research, such as that published in the Journal of Cancer Research and Therapeutics, reveals Moringa's ability to induce apoptosis, leading to the death of cancer cells. Moringa helps regulate apoptosis, a process that controls abnormal cell growth seen in cancer. Compounds like quercetin and chlorophyll in Moringa work as protective agents, reducing oxidative stress and supporting cellular health by aiding in the elimination of unhealthy cells. Fights inflammation. Moringa has anti-inflammatory properties that help reduce swelling and discomfort. Studies published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences confirm this. Isothiocyanate and flavonoids in Moringa work together to reduce the production of inflammatory mediators, providing relief and potentially preventing chronic inflammatory conditions like heart disease and cancer. Liking our video so far? Before we move on to the next benefit, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our new informative videos. Protects brain health. It is important to maintain brain health for active aging and cognitive vitality. Moringa is beneficial for brain function due to antioxidants like quercetin and chlorogenic acid, which protect brain cells from damage by free radicals. These substances counteract the negative impacts of oxidative stress, which is a main cause of age-related cognitive decline. Studies have demonstrated that Moringa can enhance cognitive function and regulate important neurotransmitters like dopamine. This regulation of neurochemicals helps improve concentration, memory, and learning. Helps prevent kidney stones. Lastly, Moringa can help prevent kidney stones, also known as renal calculi, by acting as a natural diuretic to promote the production and elimination of urine. Drinking Moringa tea daily can aid in this prevention. This is important for preventing the buildup of minerals and substances that can cause kidney stones. It also contains bioactive compounds like polyphenols and flavonoids that help dissolve crystals and prevent particles from forming into stones. Moringa offers numerous health benefits due to its antioxidant properties and healing capabilities, earning it the title of the Tree of Life. Though generally safe and healthy, consuming moringa may present minor side effects to some individuals. Pregnant women should avoid using moringa roots, bark, and extracts as they can cause uterine contractions. Breastfeeding women should be cautious with moringa leaves as it is uncertain if the chemicals could be passed to the baby through breast milk. Individuals on blood thinners should consult their doctor before consuming moringa. During cancer treatment, doctors and patients need to be mindful of potential drug interactions, including those with natural products like herbs and vitamins. These seemingly harmless supplements can actually pose risks when taken together with oncology treatments. Folk remedies may mistakenly suggest that all medicinal plants are safe, but in reality, they can interfere with treatments and cause serious reactions. It is crucial to seek medical advice when considering using them. Balanced consumption of moringa is crucial to maximize its benefits. Consuming excessive antioxidants can have negative effects on the liver. Aim for a daily intake of 500 milliliters for optimal results. To make moringa tea, boil 1 liter of filtered water. Turn off the heat and add 1 teaspoon of moringa leaves. Cover and steep for 5 minutes before drinking. Moringa powder can be conveniently incorporated into smoothies, juices, sauces, baked goods, and confectionery. For a quick cup of moringa tea, dissolve the powder in hot water. Enhance the flavor with lemon juice, mint, or honey. This caffeine-free beverage is rich in antioxidants, minerals, and proteins, making it a healthy alternative to coffee. We hope you found this video informative and helpful. I recommend watch these videos and don't forget to subscribe to the channel